All right, we are back here on Radio Row with two special guests here. We have Randy Grimes and Bobby Williams on the show. Glad to get you guys on. How you guys doing
Thanks
today?
for having us.
Really great. Thank you for having us today, man.
Yeah. And Randy Grimes, this is your 15th year on Radio Row. Oh, my gosh.
Seen a lot of changes, but you know what's the same faces every year. Everybody's hanging in there.
Yeah. Wow. And then Bobby, this is your first?
This is my first. Randy brought me out.
All right. And you are actor, writer, stuntman, health, wellness, and longevity teacher.
Yeah, I am that.
I am
that and more.
All of that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, before we get too far down the road, I got to ask Randy about this accent. We just had on Farmers Want to Wife, and he sounds like he may be part of that. What part of the country?
That's Texas. That's East Texas.
Yeah. East Texas. Hey, we be out of Dallas.
Deep East Texas.
Ours goes out of Dallas, and I got family out of East Texas. Atlanta,
oh, yeah, you know.
Mount Pleasant, Queen City. All
yeah, Tyler.
Yeah,
I'm a Tyler guy.
What's up, man? East Texas hot links, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Rose capital.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a good interview then. Earl Campbell.
That's right.
Right. And so you guys are here about Stratosphere ATC.
We are that.
Talk about the hyperbaric chamber and what it does.
So it's hypo, not hyper. Hyper is you push people down and you pressurize them with oxygen. We're all sitting at 2,500 feet here in Vegas. I can take you to Everest inside the chamber and back again in 60 seconds. Oh, wow. So it's all about elevation, pressure changes and going up in elevation and back down to where you started from. So it's completely different, and we're using ambient air. The pressure changes of moving that quickly, I could do air turnover 1,000 miles an hour. Able to move that fast inside the chamber, when you compound that with exercise and a couple of other things I have patents on, lighting, sound, vibration, magnets, it has a multitude of health effects on the body. Turns on a molecular switch to raise VO2 max, right? Mm-hmm. Increase testosterone, triple your EPO, erythroprotein. That's what Lance Armstrong was injected, is blood doping, but this happens naturally. On top of which, you get happier and healthier while you're in there.
Yeah.
I know y'all perked up when you said increased testosterone.
You saw when Randy saw me right that day. I'm like, he lost me at diet and exercise, but I was back in at testosterone.
You don't have to exercise. You get the cellular exercise sedentarily sitting there too. You can sit in a zero gravity chair. Now you feel it in 122-minute session. And when you get out, you hear better, you see better, you function better, your brain works better. You can feel it. It moves dormant parts of the brain.
Incredible.
So it's pretty impressive. And here, how about this? Within 24 to 48 hours of using the chamber, half your genome expression changes. Your DNA, half of it changes and uploads as if you're still at the elevations I took you to. So your body's replicating these red blood cells, progenitor cells, and stem cells, trying to replicate that environment that we created. Now, that means that you are behaving like a Sherpa. The Sherpa has different DNA than we have. All of this stuff that I'm saying is validated by the Mayo Clinic and Dr. Bruce Johnson. We've been doing 6 years of studies with this. This is our first year coming out. We're putting one at Apex, Performance Institute for the UFC fighters. That's how we're starting.
So I'd imagine then, based on what you're telling me, I'd imagine there's probably some unanticipated benefits, health benefits, healing benefits. When people may come in for another reason, they may get some other advantages to this.
It's all walks of life. We got 7-year-old to an 85-year-old using it. Randy and I came together because of all the stuff that's happening in the brain. PTSD, impacts, concussions. There's healing properties of that happening. We're doing studies on that right now.
And that's athletes, veterans, first responders, anybody really,
all walks of life.
Yeah. This is for everybody, every generation, and it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Hey, Bobby, this chamber can get you back out on the field.
He said he can lock somebody down. I don't know.
Yeah, Randy's going to live in this thing for a couple of years, and he's going to
that's what it's going to say.
Yeah.
So for you being a former player, and you know what CTE has become, there was a film. There's more and more about it.
Right.
Talk about how that could possibly change or impact.
Well, yeah. And also not only that, but what I'm here for every year, which is mental health and substance abuse, and what it can do for healing the brain after going through something like that. So there's all kinds of possibilities here, but some things we already know, and that's that this absolutely is a game changer. It's a anti-age,
Yeah, extends telomeres, regresses senescent cells. The senescent cell is like a zombie cell. They're the old cells that hang on. This thing kicks them out. and it extends the telomeres, which means we're extending life. I mean, this is the future, you know? Everybody's looking at what's going wrong, the COVID and whatnot. No, look at what's going right. This technology is here. And Marielle and I, my wife and I, talk about the 7 greatest doctors in the world, because you have to have lifestyle. Dr. Sun, Dr. Air, Dr. Water, Dr. Earth, Dr. Nutrition, Dr. Exercise, Dr. Rest. Yeah. Those guys are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're free. We all need to learn about them. Yes. We need this curriculum for kids so that they stay healthy. Right. We're our best doctors. Not saying that emergency medical care isn't amazing and the doctors aren't amazing, but you need to take care of yourself first and foremost. Right. And it's actually become, when I was a kid, you would think it was selfish to work out and do all this stuff. It's all about you. The healthier you are, the more selfless you are, because the more you can, you're able to take care of yourself, the more you can take care of all those people.
The more beneficial you are to your family.
Exactly.
And the longer you're here for your family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're interested in making this available to everybody. You know, we want to get this out there. Right now, we're talking about D1, wellness centers, hospitals, professional teams, you know, things like that. But eventually, we'd like to.
Everybody's home.
Everybody's home.
Yeah. So
less than a mid-sized car.
We'll put the doctors out of business. Wow. Put the doctors out of business.
You better be careful with that one. They'll chase you down quick.
He said something big when he said the sun. Last year, I started incorporating the sun into my self-care routine.
Sun gazing?
No, being in the sun, sunbathing.
So watching
it wasn't pretty.
No.
When I was out there.
Dude, let it all hang out.
You didn't get harpooned. If you didn't get harpooned, you're way ahead.
Here are the numbers. Shirt off. You raise 120% of your hormone levels, shirt off, 20 minutes on the back and on the front. You let the junk out 200%. 200% it raises your hormone levels. The sun. And how about 75% of the vitamin D comes through your eyes? You need to get outside. And so they say the healthiest group of people and vocation of work. Try to guess what that is. Landscapers.
Right.
They're out all day. They got a ton of vitamin D. Their bodies are functioning well.
You would think a lifeguard. Maybe I should be
Yeah, lifeguard. I can see you lifeguard, Randy.
That'd be
Texas. Big jobs down in Texas for lifeguard.
Think about the impact this information can have on the youth, right? What's happening with our youth nowadays, right? They're inside. They're on their laptops. They're on their
phones,
their social media. They're not getting outside anymore. In fact, the NFL had a Play 60 campaign that they launched about 5 to 10 years or so ago, trying to get kids back outside. And I think this type of information could refocus parents and be like, hey, get your butt outside.
100%. I mean, you ready for a statistic? Yeah. Okay. What was the teenage epidemic when we were kids in the 60s and 70s?
Drinking out of a water hose.
it was teenage pregnancy. You know what it is today? Teenage suicide.
Yeah. Wow.
Right? Wow. That's the phone. So 4 of us sitting here talking, 57% of our human connection is us looking at each other, our body language, 36% the tone of our voices, 7% the content. You text somebody, you feel alone, you only have a 7% human connection. No one's looking at each other, no one's touching each other. Right. We start doing that again, these kids will want to stay. I look at kids, Marilyn and I go out on these big speaking engagements. I'm like, all right, you're 15, you're 17. And I said, you're his wingman to get a date with a girl so he can go make out with her in the movies and come back and report to you. Now, you could either do that, kiss the prettiest girl in class, or kill yourself. Yeah. And you're choosing to kill yourself? Yeah. Come on. Right. I'd do anything to go back to junior high school and make out with the girls that I was afraid of.
I said I would much rather get a girl pregnant than she kill herself. So, ladies, if you're struggling if you're struggling, don't do
a PSA over here.
Come see me.
Don't do nothing to yourself. Come talk to me.
Your wife's not going to like that. Your wife is not going to like that.
So I wanted to talk about athletes in recovery. Randy, talk about that and how important that is to you and to impact some of the players.
Yeah, well, that's my nonprofit that I started 15 years ago, and it's just a bridge. It's a bridge to from athletes that are struggling and mental health and substance abuse resources. And I've been able to help. I teamed up with the NFL. We started the Player Care Foundation, started reaching out to guys. And not only did guys that I played with and against start coming in, but, Major League Baseball got involved. Pretty much every sport you can think of that has an organization that supports their former players, I've been working with. And that's from jockeys to MMA fighters, But I don't just work with athletes. I work with anybody looking to get free from this disease of addiction. And, me and my wife want to be the resource. We want to be that first call for people. Parents, that are struggling with their kids. You know, what do I do? Where do I
Right.
go? And
Right.
you know, we want to be that person.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, before we let you guys go, obviously the Super Bowl is going on this week, surprisingly.
Is there a game?
Is there a game going on?
The big game.
Right. But so talk about your a little bit of analysis. Who's your pick or prediction?
I'm an NFC guy, so I got to stay with the Niners. But you know what? This is going to be a very entertaining game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of playmakers out there. It's
Wait a
going to.
minute, Randy. I know you've been from Texas. I know you're a Cowboys.
I grew up that way, but you know, until Jerry
Things change.
goes,
It's not
until
happening.
Jerry goes,
His,
it ain't
his family
happening.
owns the team. It's not.
Jerry goes.
Jerry needs to he needs to go on a
We need to
long
change
yacht
it.
trip.
We're trying to get
Hiatus.
customers for Stratosphere. So we don't want him to go. We want him to last. We want to, he needs to be calling y'all, right?
So you got.
But I'm going with the Niners. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have a score prediction, but I'm thinking that it's going to be an NFC game.
Okay. All right, Bobby.
I'm hoping for a tight game, just like the playoffs.
Yeah.
Come on, the playoffs were amazing this year, some of the best.
Yeah.
So if we can get a game like that, I'd hate it to be lopsided. I'd like it to be a close game up to the end, and then I got to say I'm going with the Niners as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We appreciate you guys for
Thanks
coming
for
on.
having us. We appreciate it.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
a minute.
Who are you guys going with? You got to tell us what's going on.
Until you dethrone the champion, I'm going with the champion.
There you go.
And you know who that is.
Yeah, we
right?
do.
I don't even have to say it. Another Texas boy.
Yeah.
Patty Mahomes.
Hometown boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
But the young kid is he's showing some promise.
yeah,
He's showing some
he
promise.
tends to start a little slow. So I until you beat Patty Mahomes, I'm taking Patty Mahomes.
He's
Yeah.
hard to be beat.
Yeah.
He's-
But before we go, Randy, this shirt that you have, what I want you to do is take one of these Stratosphere t-shirts back and wear that the rest of the day. And let me get this shirt.
No, I already broke
I
it in
look
for
better
you.
in it. I look better in it than you do, Randy. Come on.
Well, my wife she might think different.
But I'm going 49ers. I think they're healthier, healthiest they've been. I think this is their year. So we'll see.
Here we go.
I like it.
All right, guys. Take care.
Thanks for having
Thank
us.
you,
All
Adam.
right. No problem.
Appreciate
Thank you.